It's on. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Cave Podcast. It's your boy Jarizi. I'm here with Jermaine, and this is Francis's debut as a co-host on the podcast, guys.
What
And
up?
we're
What
here
up?
with a special guest. We got Victor Evans, our good friend, aka Vito.
Yes.
Vito, thanks for joining us tonight, man. What's up? How you doing?
No problem. I'm doing well, man. Can't complain at all.
Awesome. Vito is a basketball player, and us three collectively, we love basketball, but Vito's probably gone the furthest in that journey than any of us have.
I'm in a 6'4" and under, so that tells me a lot about my skills.
So we're gonna vicariously live our hoop dreams out through our man Victor. And Victor, tell us a little about your journey getting into basketball. Who inspired you and what got you into it?
Okay, so my grandmother, she gave me a basketball and was the reason why I started. And the reason why I guess I probably kept going for all these years, my biggest idol was my grandfather. He played at the University of Akron, still holds the rebounding record up there, I think. And in the Hall of Fame, got his jersey retired, everything like that. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, you know what? I feel like with the great players, the people who looked up to family members were the ones that went further than the ones that are like, oh, Michael Jordan was my favorite, or or Larry Bird was my favorite. So that's probably why he went further than any of us did, honestly.
Nah, it's definitely easier having somebody that can kind of guide you and tell you what it takes to get to the level that they got to. So definitely got a one up on people if you have a family member that played.
That's what's up.
That's dope, man. How old were you when your grandma put the ball in your hand, bro? Because that's something I've never heard of, any story of a grandma putting a ball in a player's hand. So that's an interesting story.
Yeah, it's usually the dad, right?
Well, my dad didn't play sports. My dad was short. My dad and my mom, unathletic, short. I got both of my grandfathers were 6'4", so that's where my height comes from.
Okay.
But yeah, so my grandma, she put the basketball in my hand when I think I was 4 years old. There's pictures just me playing with her in the backyard on the little Fisher Price court and things like that. So I'm playing for a minute.
Nice, man. So when did you when was that moment where you're like, damn, I kind of got it, let's see where I can go with this? What was how old were you then, or what was that moment? Was it a game in high school that you just fucking dunked on someone crazy, or was it
mine was late. That moment? Mine was literally my senior year. I love basketball. I worked really hard in it, but I didn't really understand things that I needed to work on. But there was just one game that I forgot how much I scored. It probably was 18 points or something like that. But I had 7 blocks, 12 rebounds, 5 steals. I had
all over the place.
Yeah, it was like an Andre Karolinko type of game.
K4V3.
Have 5-5 in every category. That was it. To where I was like, man, I might have something here. And that's when I told my coach hey, I want to play in college and stuff like that. Because I never thought I was good enough to play in college.
Okay.
Until, it was always people around me that thought I was, but I didn't think I was that good.
I see.
Growing up.
So what was that process like, from not thinking you were good enough to play in a collegiate level hoops, and then finally realizing it? So what was the next steps? Because I did some research. I know you went to Vanguard and Pierce College. So can you touch on what was the process with that after your senior year of high school?
So my senior year, I ended up getting I think I got second team all league my senior year, and my confidence slowly started just going up and up and up. After that Workman game, that's when I really started to shine in league and stuff like that. And then after that, when the season was over, I knew that I was going to go to a junior college, so I was
Mhm.
just I was getting hit up by like all the local ones, like Chase, because I
Okay.
went to San Bernardino High School, so
Okay.
like Chafee, San Bernardino College, like two really good, California junior colleges.
Mhm.
And then so I would go there, was killing up there, would do open gym at my high school. And then I went to San Bernardino College, Valley College, for a workout. And during the open gym, Prairie View A&M, a Division One in Texas, they were there, and I was having a good day, playing great defense, shooting stuff like that. And they called my high school coach, like elated about me and
Damn,
trying to
nice.
get me like to
That's what's
go
up.
and commit that day, like to them. And I would have did it if I took the SAT, but because I thought I for sure was going to community college, I never took
Mm,
the SAT. It
I
was no
see.
point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to tell them, that I couldn't do it. But that's when I was like, okay, yeah, that's a Division One school. Because at that point, I hadn't had an offer from anybody, an offer, a
Mhm.
letter, anything.
Damn.
So that was my first like college look. Like I knew I had to go junior college, and then so when that happened, to where just a college finally seeing me,
Mhm.
and the first time a college actually seen me, they were like, okay, yeah, we want this kid. That's when I knew, like, all right, I'm actually really good. like, like I'm
Yeah.
better than most people. So
Yep.
yeah, so I tried. I just really kind of buckled down, dedicated a whole summer to getting better. And then unfortunately I ended up picking Pierce. That's how I got at Pierce,
Mhm.
because I didn't want to stay in San Bernardino. I felt like I would be too distracted out there.
I see.
So I ended up going to Pierce, but unfortunately, that fall I got into a really bad car accident, and like I literally couldn't even like walk for
Oh,
like
shit.
a month and a half. Like my back
Damn.
was just all messed up. I was having migraines like nonstop. So basketball that year was out of the question. I didn't pick up a ball again until I think it was like February or March for the following year.
Mm.
And then my grandfather, he passed. So
Sorry to hear
that
that, man.
Yeah.
yeah, so that was my whole reason for playing. So I kind of, when he passed away, I kind of thought that I didn't want to play anymore. So I
Mhm.
decided to not even take another year off. I decided I wasn't playing basketball.
I see.
And then I just started missing it that summer, and that following summer. So I didn't play my freshman year until I was 20.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy, man. Well, congrats to you, man. Props to the adversity you had to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Appreciate
what kind of like mental state do you have to be in to go from something you didn't want to do at all and then like wanting to just go back and jump back in? Like what did you have to do to prepare your mind, body, and soul to get back on that journey?
Well, it was already hard for me. Like after the car accident, that was like a big like blow to me, because
Mhm.
just everything was starting to click. Like the game was getting easier for me. My confidence was at all time high. So when the car accident happened, I was already kind of down.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
then my grandfather passing that same summer, that just like I was like, oh man, this is God talking to me, saying that this is like, leave it alone.
Mhm.
And then I just missed it so much. I miss playing. I miss the camaraderie of it. And then um, my cousin Brittany, she's like the reason why that I will never like stop pursuing like basketball, because um, I'm 345 days older than her. So like me and her growing up, we were super tight. And literally my only tattoo that I have says Brittany Smile for Life. She passed away when I was 14 and when she was 13 from
Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
cancer. And she like she was a star, bro. Like she was in Captain Crunch commercials and all types of
Mhm.
stuff.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Macy's parade, like when she got sick, like she was in the Macy's parade. Like she was amazing. So I was like one of my best friends. And she had a poem that she wrote, and it was on ABC and everything like that. And like the basis of it was, where I'm from, we never give up. And
Mhm. Hell yeah.
like she was a big, huge part of my life. Like that's like the reason why, like it's hard for me to sleep still, because like I see my cousin a lot, like before I sleep. Like when everything calms down, I'm just kind of like by myself. I see her a lot because the day before she passed, we all went there to the house, and like I seen her, and I wasn't able to say bye and stuff like that. So that guilt like ate me up a lot for a long time.
Oh,
God
man.
damn, man.
Yeah, like I seen her, her struggling to breathe, and my uncle holding her, and I just walked right out of the room. I couldn't say anything to her, like
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
And so, but that reminder that she never got to chase her dream, and two, she didn't believe in giving up on anything. So that kept me like my mindset of I can never quit. I can never not try to be professional and make this a career and take care of my family and doing something that I love to do. So
Yeah.
that's the main inspiration behind everything.
Hell yeah. That's a deep why, man. And
Yeah,
as a person who's seen you, I've watched some highlights of you online and, just being on the court with you, warming up, just getting loose. I would
yeah,
say your style is very smooth.
yeah. I try to
You're
make it
very,
easy, man.
bro, you're very composed, not really flashy, but your flash comes from situational
Yeah,
positions. You might pull a move that you haven't really been seen or isn't really in your package, but situational, you might
yeah,
pull it out. But man, your why is very deep.
Yeah.
mhm.
It almost like it doesn't translate why your why is so deep. You'd feel like you'd be going hard like Russell Westbrook and all that. You know
Yeah,
what I
nah.
mean? But you're very smooth.
Hmm.
How would you say? I mean, am I accurate with my description of your style? How would you describe your style,
Yeah.
and how
So
would you say the why translates into that?
yeah, that's how I used to play. Actually, like I used to be just nonstop heavy motor, like just trying because I was super athletic. That was the one thing I was throughout my life for sure was I was a freak athlete. So
Mhm.
I used that, and then once I realized that most of this game is skill, I just honed in on just getting super sound skill wise to where instead of trying to take all these dribbles, try hard to get to the basket, I'm gonna get to a spot that's easy for me to score from and take two or three dribbles to get there and score from there like that. Like high school, I was nonstop motor. Once I got to college, I was just an efficient like scorer.
Mm.
So, and
Nice.
then Paul George is like my favorite basketball player. Kobe was my favorite player growing up, and then like now it's watching Paul George. But in high school, it was Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, stuff like that.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy. You definitely see it, the Paul George relation. I definitely see that, and yeah, it's interesting to see that you don't have to be so aggressive because of the why
yeah,
that you're playing, and you know what I mean. You can tone it down. Do you think that also comes with your upbringing of learning basketball the right way? You think that's what kind of you said gave you the
yeah.
edge?
I think so. This my grandfather. He's like always taught to me. So my family, my mom's side of the family, they're from Ohio. So I used to my mom would fly me out there every summer. So I would be with my grandma and my pop, and he would just like always just show me film. I think that's the main thing
Mm.
that kind of made me understand the game more than anything. That I had somebody there showing me like film of basketball. It wasn't just me watching highlights and thinking like that's how like you need to play. It needs to be super flashy and like in your face all the time. Like he would break down things with me, like literally from like I would watch scrimmages from him playing.
Oh, okay.
Like yes, and he played in 64, I think. So
Wow.
it's like I'm watching like that type of basketball, like
That's crazy.
heavy on the jump stops and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So
He gave you the fundamentals.
Yeah, for
yeah,
That's
sure.
good,
so
like something to build off of because,
yeah,
I hear from Jarrell and how he was coaching and how all the kids just want to shoot threes now. No one wants to do the
yeah,
basic things like layup lanes anymore. So it's cool that you had the fundamentals as your starting basis and look where it's got you.
yeah.
See, I
That's how
think
I coach
Yeah.
my AAU team. My little 11-year-olds, they've been making some noise recently. Like we run plays. Like
Mhm.
Nice.
I think I'm the only AAU team that's running plays right now.
Yeah, we talked on the podcast about I'm gonna say quote unquote problem because I don't know really if it's a problem of these kids nowadays just jacking up threes.
Man.
You and I have seen they don't even do layup lines anymore, man. They
Nope.
just heave these half court shots or these
Yeah.
Steph Curry range threes. And I
Like a
talked to the
whole
guys
bunch of
about
dribbles.
yeah, floater from the 3-point. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. Sometimes it goes in, makes me look stupid calling them out, and then, hey, coach,
It
I made it.
drops.
Ah, goddamn. Oh, you guys run.
It's the worst. When it goes in, it's the worst, bro.
For real, man. But I said, like, as a kid growing up from a upbringing of not really having the advantage of having people that knew the fundamentals of basketball, we would just, cross over layups, and you'd see in the gym people with these whack mechanics of a jump shot. But now with these kids practicing these 3-pointers from far beyond the 3-point line, they kind of have the mechanics of shooting the right way now, right? Would you say?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily an L for basketball. It's
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 a different
it's
era.
yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of it's got
The
its
kids,
pros with kids kind of imitating that. Would you agree?
for sure. Like the kids now, like I'll say, they're probably way more skilled than how they were like when we were playing and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Just because like kids are getting trainers at like 7 years old,
Oh
bro.
so
yeah.
like they're like way more skilled and capable of like doing things, but they're also like robots now. So that's the one thing that we had is that we got better from playing outside and like playing
Mhm.
against each other all the time. They're playing against the cone for the majority of the time.
Yeah. I was talking about that with Jarrell the other day, like, when we were in high school, because me and Jarrell were teammates in high school, we hated, like, the drills, but then every time scrimmage came back on and it was, like, an hour of scrimmage, that's when we, like, turned up and had the most fun, but
Mhm.
when I see kids, like, even at my league games at MAP, like, these kids have, like, big cones or, like,
Yep.
All the
people that look like
tools.
people, and then they're just doing the same move over and over. I'm like, "Damn, maybe I should have done that when I was a kid just to get better," but it's crazy to see the evolution of the game now and what it was like before and what it is like now.
For sure.
This
Yeah.
might be an obvious question, but what do you guys think that is caused by? Do you think it's caused by the fact that YouTube has a library of highlights and drills
Oh, yeah.
now? I mean, obviously the accessibility of coaches is obviously an advantage. I remember all I had at the time were like error alerts
Mhm.
and fucking and one mixtape
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
some freaking like you could like pixelated highlight mixtape videos of like Stephon Marbury and stuff.
For sure. I
But
think
do
it's
you
just
think
the
do you think yeah,
access.
it's the access, or
Yeah.
like you said, these kids are just robots now and know how
Yeah.
to take in information.
Yeah. Because like you see, I'll put it like a crazy example. Easy example is one they see what basketball can bring earlier as well. Like Mikey
Mhm.
Williams is a multi-millionaire right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
like,
That's
like
that guy's crazy.
it's crazy. Like yeah, like you can make all this money early. Like by the time you're 14, you can be making you can be taking care of your family already just off the internet. So I think that just having all that access and then being able to see the reward already is what it is. Like I
Right.
know like kids from where I grew up, like that's what they're looking at more so the reward. And then kids out here in Orange County, it's like they want to be better than their friends. They want to say, "Oh, I got a trainer.
Hmm.
My trainer played here." This, that, that. It's like more of a bragging thing, but
Mhm.
it's either way. It's just it's too much easy. It's just easy access now.
Mhm.
Like you can literally see everything. Like if you want to watch a full game, you literally just can type in basketball full game. You
Yeah.
can see a
Yeah.
full game.
Yeah,
So
you can break down film real easy compared to
mhm.
back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah, and I came across this YouTube channel called Shot Mechanics. Have you guys ever heard of that
I
YouTube
heard it. I
channel?
never watched it though.
I
Oh
No.
never
man, they break down literally every shooter's shooting mechanics. It's
Yeah.
I would have been my shooting percentage would have went higher if I saw that back in the day.
I'm not a believer in like shooting perfect. Like I think like
Uh-huh.
however, especially if you're a teenager, it's really it's gonna be hard to fix your shot. Like we have one example of somebody being able to change their shot and being successful. And it's Lonzo Ball.
That's
Like he's the only person that I've ever seen change their shot as a teenager, and it was a success. You just have to kind of master your own shot. Like you gotta figure out what works for you. Like even in the NBA, if you think about it, it's like one person who shoots perfect, and it's Clay. Like Steph doesn't have a perfect looking shot. Damian Lillard doesn't have a perfect looking shot. KD for damn sure doesn't have a perfect looking shot. But, you know, they all mastered their shots.
Yeah. Shout out Sean Marion because that shot was wild.
Hey, nah, shout out Kevin Martin. He had the better shooting percentage.
Forgot about Kevin Martin too.
Those are some fun ones.
But what's the guy from the Houston Rockets who shot the weird free throws? Is it Chuck?
Chuck Hayes,
Chuck Hayes?
Oh,
yeah. Oh man, that guy. I always thought he was trolling, man.
Yeah, I never understood how it can get that bad, like a Markel Fultz situation and stuff like that. Like I don't see how you could ever hitch that much. I went to the Clipper game the other day, and slow-mo, his shot is disgusting too. I didn't know it was that weird looking. Like it's like really bad. Like he already is slow for it, and then like he kind of like will hitch his elbow in and then like push floated. Like it's weird.
Yeah, like you said, I do agree with you. Everyone kind of has their own way of shooting. But one main problem I do see, especially with kids since I've been coaching, was the hitch, because you lose a lot of momentum with it. And I feel like from all the shooters I've studied, the only person who's perfect at it, Kobe Bryant, right? That guy can hitch from anywhere. And it's crazy what kind of momentum he can still get despite losing momentum on that hitch.
Yeah. Especially after like 4 pump fakes.
I think his biggest thing was he squares up no matter what. Like no matter how he takes off in the air, he'll square up and be lined up with the basket.
Right.
So I think that's why his shot was so great, especially in his prime. Was he had the legs under him to where he was able to shift his body to where it needed to be, to where even if he took off like this, by the time he released it, he was perfectly lined up with the basket.
Yeah. You know how much crazy like effort it is to get that kind of muscle memory to always square your shoulders.
Oh my gosh.
Just doing whatever he's doing, like those turnaround shots, he hits some crazy ones, and you're just like, how the hell did he square those shoulders up so easily? That's just hours he would put in. He was obsessed with it, which was crazy. Because you see kids, I go to LA Fitness, I see kids trying to do that shot, and they're like, I can't get it in because they're facing this way and their arms are right here.
Their mechanics like, what are you trying to do, bro?
Yeah, and they're trying to do these turnaround shots. They think they're Kobe in the gym, but it's just like, you don't just go to the gym and do it.
Right.
Right. I don't know. It's almost like Kobe practices shooting after a pump fake. Right?
Oh yeah,
like
100%.
Loses the momentum and then finds it from there, like his footing and his.
Remember he had like 3 seasons to where he would pump fake like 6 times before he shot the ball.
Yeah, his offense would start from the pump fake, right?
That shit would still go in. What the fuck?
He's like, jab step. Fuck that.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when he was coming up with those crazy pivots to the off the backboard type stuff, man.
Yeah, the reverse pivots.
It's hard, like when I think about prime Kobe in his prime years, there's so many eras of Kobe that it's kind of hard to put a label on, no, this is prime. But I always think the 24 Kobe was his better years. What do you guys think?
I think that was the most skilled basketball player to ever live.
100%.
24 Kobe.
100%.
Right.
Like, it was ridiculous how little he had to do to score. Like, if he caught it in the post, it was almost guaranteed it was bucket. Like,
right.
That dude was crazy.
Yeah. Almost. I kind of see it in LeBron, like LeBron when he was kind of going 1 versus 5 against the Warriors when Kyrie and Kevin Love went down. His game was completely different, right? What's up with that?
It was. I forgot what game that was, to where like they were losing, and then like the last like 3 minutes, he literally just scored every possession. It seemed like, I'm like, why did he just now start doing this?
Yo, and they were like they were clean, like greatness, like
Yeah.
possessions that he had too, like the moves that he was pulling. They did look LeBron-esque, but they didn't look like his package of offense, you know?
Yeah.
It was like some kind of greatness tier, and then I don't know, I thought I'd see that kind of I thought I'd see that style of LeBron in the Lakers, but this
Nah,
new
he
pull
stole.
up Draymond Greenish type of style.
He just shoots threes. LeBron's just too many threes now, man.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! I was at the Lakers Celtics game, and when they came back and they were up by like 16 with 3 minutes left, and then he just kept step backing and jacking up a three. It was 20 seconds of him holding the ball, and then the last 4 were him trying to set up his shot. I was like,
Yeah.
"You get the ball to AD, man. Like, can you get a pick and roll or action on the opposite wing or something?" Shit.
Yeah. I get it though. He's trying to kind of preserve himself as long as possible, but
Yeah, I mean the way he was playing in that series, I felt like he it wasn't really taxing on him, you know. It was his own pace. It was almost like Michael Jordan when he came back, 24 Kobe style of
Yeah.
LeBron, I felt like.
It was very, very easy. It came
How
to
do you
them.
feel about the Lakers, and who's your team? Do you have a team that you rock with in the NBA?
I am a diehard Laker fan, man. I was
Let's
born
go.
I was born into it, bro. And I
Okay.
tell people all the time, like, I am definitely biased when it comes to the GOAT conversation because Kobe is the first player I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Like, he came in the league in '96, bro. Like, that's all I've ever seen for basketball. But yeah, I'm a Laker fan. It's been a struggle the last couple of years, but you know, we gonna figure it out.
For sure. I'm a big Kobe fan. I'm not one to shy about talking shit on the Lakers, but Francis here's a big Laker fan, so
You see the shirt?
Yeah. They represent, man.
So dumb question then. The bubble ring counts, right?
Yes.
100%.
Playing basketball, man.
Like I have a cousin that's a Clipper fan. And I'm like, yo, if Kawhi and PG won that ring, you would be not talking. You would like hang that over my head for like the longest day or longest time. But of course, when the Lakers and LeBron wins it, it's a fucking Mickey Mouse ring, apparently.
I don't know how anybody can possibly say that's not a real ring if everybody who was in the bubble said that was the most difficult time they had playing basketball.
Oh, 100%.
It's because they had like the demo rosters. They didn't have the full NBA team. You know what I mean? They had
the main guys were playing.
Bro just wants to Breezy just wants to shit on us, bro. But we gotta hang in there. Yeah, but speaking about the NBA, speaking about the NBA, Victor, did you or Vito, did you try to attempt to go to the NBA at some point after college, or what was your journey like after college?
I think that was always the goal.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have like huge opportunities. I had one. And unfortunately, I was just a crazy situation how that even happened. I was playing. It was the summer. I think it was summer of 2017, actually. Like when I got done with Vanguard, working out hard. I had become real close with Corey Maggette.
Nice.
Oh man,
good.
See Mag.
But yeah, that's like one of my best friends now. I see him literally every week, so.
That's awesome.
I become real cool with him, and he calls me on the Saturday. I just played in it was a pro-am that used to go on called the JBL. It was like kind of, for the longest time, it was like rival to the Drew League. Like NBA guys would play, like Andre Miller, Ron Artest, stuff like that. Like
nice.
So, but I was playing in that, and I just stepped on somebody's foot, sprained my ankle. Corey calls me 2 hours later. I hadn't told him about my ankle or nothing like that. And he says, "Hey, Vito, Elton Brand's in town." And I think at this point he was like in the Sixers organization.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Elton Brand's in town," and they're working out 4 guys and at Jordan Lawley's gym. Pull up. It's Monday morning. I didn't even tell him my ankle was messed up. I just was like, "All right, yeah, I'll be there."
You can't pass up the opportunity, so fuck.
Yeah. Why are you wearing those high cuts?
I went and I had these Under Armour shoes that were like super high, and I got them from like one of my teammates at Vanguard. My teammate Will, I gave them to me from like a Steph Curry camp, and they
Okay.
were the highest shoes I had. So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely wearing these. I was icing literally every 2 hours. I was icing, and then like
Jeez.
just rotating my ankle, doing my ABCs with my ankle, stuff like that, just trying my best to just get strength into it. And then that Monday morning when I woke up, I was like, I'm not even gonna do it. I
Yeah.
pulled up to the gym, and I told Corey, I was like, yeah, I just came just to introduce myself. I was like, I messed my ankle up, and I'm not gonna be it. There's no way. I said, I'd rather them like not see me
Yeah.
at 40% than So
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah.
I was like the one opportunity I had. It was like they were working out guys that they were thinking about drafting and stuff like that, and going to the summer league. So that was the one NBA opportunity that I had. Unfortunately, things happened to where I
Yeah.
couldn't. But that was for sure always the goal. Like playing, like you want to play at the highest level. So
Yeah.
Have you explored maybe the overseas option? Because I know that's something a lot of people are doing too.
yeah. So I turned down my friend Josh. He got an opportunity for me in Australia in 2016 when I was at Vanguard, and I turned it down because it just didn't seem like worth it.
Hmm.
Because the
Mhm.
money that they were talking about out there wasn't like appealing at all, and I was like, well, if I play at Vanguard at a university, and I'm already getting this only playing JUCO at that time, then
Right.
there'll be more money after I leave Vanguard, and then things. Another crazy situation happened at Vanguard to where I couldn't even do my senior year and
Oh,
stuff
man.
like that. So I didn't end up going. I was trying hard like the first 2 or 3 years out of college. Like so 17, 18, 19, I was trying hard. Um uh Almost did like the ABA, just like how hard I was just like trying to just keep film, updated film. But then every time I wanted to do the ABA, it just like someone just told me not to do it. Like it just didn't seem
Mhm.
like worth doing it.
Yeah.
And then but now and literally quarantine, I got overseas offer to Belize and was going to go. I was going to go middle of the season, but COVID happened, so couldn't
Damn.
go. And then the following
Okay.
year, 2021, it was supposed to happen, but it was just too early. So Belize, because how small the country is, when they were getting when they would have a spike, the whole country shut down.
Okay.
Like you couldn't leave your house unless you were going to work. Like if
Yeah.
one of the towns had it, so let's say Sand Hill, that's a town, that's a village in Belize. Let's say they had it. Literally, they would put barriers up, like if they had like high cases, to where nobody could leave the
Wow.
village.
That's insane.
Like they would have like cops at the
At the
the
entrance of
borders
each
at
okay.
each village. So like
Damn.
yeah, so they canceled it, but they're having the season starts January.
Hello?
Yes. Sorry, my niece is calling me. I think she's about to start blowing me up actually.
No, you're good.
So it might happen again.
You're
But
good, bro.
yeah, so January, I actually fly out on Wednesday to go to Belize.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Finally, seems like you've been waiting for that opportunity and fucking COVID and the whole world shuts down and
Yeah,
you're kinda, like, confined to the regulations of another country, so must be a finally a weight off your shoulders to finally play the
it
sport you
is,
love.
but because I got married right out of college, and then I
Okay.
had my daughter in 2019. That kind of like like the saying "ball is
Yeah.
life." It kind of
Mhm.
getting married and then having a child. It kind of made it last like
Ball is not life
yeah,
anymore.
it's not really life. Yeah, so I there's a I have a beautiful wife, a beautiful child. Like that's what life is. Like
Nice,
that's
man.
it's a one of my favorite rappers, Lil Russell said, picking his daughter up from school, that's real goals. And like that's like kind of like
That's
really
awesome.
how I feel. Like like
Yeah.
that's the best feeling for me. So it wasn't that hard. Like to be honest, like of course, like the opportunities coming, and
Mhm.
then not getting anything, like and all of a sudden not going through. Like that's of course disappointing. But if I didn't have my wife, my daughter, I think I would have been way more disappointed. But
Mhm.
it was kind of like
Mhm.
a week of me like, damn,
It is what it is. I still got something good.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's cool, man. Just putting things into perspective is always the main thing here.
Yeah,
And, like, you see it too with Kobe, like, at the end of the day, it was his family that really mattered, you know?
yep,
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's fucking Kobe. That's
yeah. The
the
most
creme de la
dedicated
creme,
ever
right?
to basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still kinda odd seeing his soft side with his family because
Yeah,
we're so used to the
that was
almost
Asshole side.
kinda heel, villainous, anti-hero
Yeah.
character that we're all
man. I
used to,
want
you
to
know what I
tell you
mean?
guys a story so bad. I'm gonna do it. All right. So at Liberty, so I go to Liberty Baptist Church, and
Mhm.
so it's Newport Christian School. So we
Nice.
have a really nice gym. Buddy Hill had his pre-draft workout there. So
Okay.
Mhm.
it's a really nice gym there. So Kobe used to use it for Mamba Academy practice.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
shit.
Yeah, so he always was a cool dude when he came up, but like this one day, like we seen Kobe's like being Mamba, like like just being pissed off and like not being able to like to tell him anything
Mhm.
because we had Ryan Cavan, the youth pastor. I hope you don't get mad at me for telling this story, but he had double booked the gym. And Kobe called and was like, "Hey, there's somebody in the gym, blah blah blah
Mhm.
blah." And you could tell he was already irritated about that.
Mhm.
So he called, like, "Hey, there's somebody in the gym, blah 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 blah." And so Ryan, he just called the dude that he had that double booked, and he was like, "Hey, bro, I'm so sorry, but Kobe has the gym tonight, and I completely forgot." So dude was like, "Cool."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
for sure,
like,
man.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
like we're out of
Kobe.
here. Like, no
Yeah.
problem. I get to see Kobe walking out. Like, all
Yeah.
right, well, cool. But the gym was like a mess. Like there was like all the lost and found stuff was in there, stuff like
Okay.
that, like in the lobby. So Ryan told some of the kids, some of the students to go grab all the lost and found stuff. What nobody knew was that Kobe put his keys down, like literally by the lost and found stuff.
Oh, shit.
So the kids grabbed his keys up, clearing out the tables and stuff like that. So when it was time for him to go, he called cursing Ryan the heck out. Like, and mother effer this, blah, 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 blah. Somebody's always taking my ish. Yeah,
Oh, no.
like, so we're like, everybody's freaking. I'm in the car because I go in the gym at 9 o'clock because I
Mhm.
know nobody books the gym at 9 o'clock during the week.
Mhm.
So I use it at
Mhm.
9. So
Mhm.
I'm in the car. I'm just like in my car watching him go off. All I see is his hands like this. And then yeah, so that was like the one time like I got to see like probably what it was like being his teammate. Like just
Yeah. Yeah,
like
yeah,
him
yeah.
being disappointed.
Dude, that's an
He
awesome
ended up
story,
finding his
man.
keys and he apologized and stuff like that.
That's
Yeah,
an
it's
awesome
funny because
story.
one of our co-hosts, Andrew, he took his, order at In-N-Out by UCI,
But nice.
and when he ordered, he was obviously starstruck, you know?
Yeah.
But Kobe had this look in his eyes where, "Just take my fucking
Like,
order,
come on, man.
motherfucker. I'm just trying to
Yeah,
eat, bro."
like,
Yeah, so
I'm trying to eat. I
Yeah.
think that's when
yeah.
celebrities are like the most like, bro, like please, I'm just want my food. Like,
That's
Oh,
kinda
man.
funny.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but it was called I just actually watched the, Redeem Team documentary on
oh man,
Netflix.
Oh, bro,
like,
that's the best.
Oh,
yeah,
man, it ended up being like an ode to Kobe, right? Was
yeah,
on topic, but I
definitely.
showed my wife it, and she's not really familiar with, like, Kobe and, like, the Redeem Team and stuff, so I was just showing her, like, this is what Mamba mentality is, and,
Yeah,
I mean, you played basketball with a lot of different
yeah,
personalities. Kobe Bryant is like to have that fire of a drive that the Mamba has. Sometimes it's one of those sayings: if you can't take the heat, stay out the kitchen, because he won't take it lightly on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I
there's
think his
also the
biggest thing
LeBron.
was
There's also the LeBron approach of where I gotta build up my
friends.
guys instead of setting the bar.
Yeah.
How I mean, playing with different types of personalities and different types of characters. What would you say is the more effective way, and what are your thoughts on the two approaches of pushing your teammates?
To be honest, I think every team needs like the asshole that like keeps everybody in check and keeps everybody working. I mean, like, that's why Draymond could do no wrong to me.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's no way Warriors win anything without Draymond. Like,
100%.
like, so I think every team needs that, like that guy that's just not gonna take mediocrity, like, like. So I think I would prefer the Kobe Jordan mindset, like as my. That's why I would want to be my captain of my team. Like, if I'm not the captain, my captain should. I want the guy to be like that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, it's sometimes the truth hurts, and there's no nice way to put it. And when we had this wrestler on, and he was talking about how freeing it was to play the bad guy opposed to the good guy, because he says he can express himself more. He's not boxed into that, oh, hey guys, what's up? I win.
Yeah.
Being the bad guy, you can kind of be an asshole. If the crowd likes you, then shit, they like you, and you could still be an asshole. You could be like, hey,
that's the
cool
best
now,
basketball LeBron ever played was when he was in Miami and he was the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like that was the most exciting LeBron. That's the LeBron that started playing defense. Like that's the LeBron I love in Miami. So
he didn't even flop that much as a
he was a different guy, man. Like when he was the villain, that was like amazing basketball. That's when I was like, okay, yeah, there is a discussion here for he might be up there in that conversation.
Yeah, there's something about the black masks when they put them on, man.
Yeah.
Like Kyrie, Kobe, LeBron, off the top. I mean, there's probably more that have put it on, but what is that? Do you think it's a psychological edge a player has, or you think it's on the defense to be like, oh shit, like I can't really face check him, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I don't want to fracture his face. I don't know, man. That's true though. They put that mask on and it's like you become a superhero.
Yeah, right.
Was Rip Hamilton's mask black the whole time, or is it like clear sometimes? I can't remember. It was clear. Okay.
He's the pioneer, and from my opinion, with the clear mask.
Yeah, for sure. He started the wave. He didn't even need it anymore.
That's
I feel like his agent took an L not putting out Rip Hamilton masks at the time. Oh man, I think Ben Wallace had wigs at the Palace, but they didn't have the masks.
That's true.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about the my family has been big Detroit Pistons fans since the fucking 89, 90s. How did you guys feel about the Lakers taking the L against?
Oh, in 04? Oh man,
was giving $4
So I watched most of that series at my Uncle Fred's house, and I just remember like the whole, like every game, how like none of the stuff was beating them. Like, like it was. I'll be honest. Like every game, we were like just had zero confidence that we were like gonna, like, as fans. Of course, we're cheering hard, but that was an amazing team, man. Like 4 All-Stars, like
yeah, in their prime too.
And Tayshaun Prince is the 5th guy.
Man.
Like,
that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, we got Gary Payton and Karl Malone towards the end of their career.
Two old guys.
Yeah, little geezers. It's funny when you when I watched that Shaq Kobe interview and like how they talk about that series and how till this day they're so pissed off about it because they should have won. Yeah. But like Kobe talks about, like, it's cool how Kobe takes accountability because he claims he didn't like set GP and Karl Malone up for the offense and all the actions, and the way they were playing Shaq on defense was just forcing everything he
could.
Yeah.
I mean, else he could have did.
That first game where we barely like pulled it off, I was like, bruh, why the fuck are we in overtime with the Pistons? But
Yeah,
then
it
you
seems like
realize you got
that
12
same
stars up
that
there.
same
Nobody
formula.
understood
It was like
how
that same
good they
formula
were.
the international teams had against the
Oh, yeah,
US team. You know what I mean? Like the Lakers felt like, oh, we got this in the bag, and the Pistons were just like,
Nah,
nah.
you're actually really fucking good.
Yeah, like when you look back at it, that was a great team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You had 5 like great players. Like Tayshaun Prince was the only player that wasn't an All-Star.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just
He's still locked.
Like
Yeah,
that position they just couldn't. You got Trace McGrady in that position.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. So
didn't help that. Then Chauncey was like fucking cooking GP too. I was like,
oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're perfect complementary players to
Oh,
be on
yeah.
that team. With Richard Hamilton, like definitely, I felt like was a new age, more mid range Reggie Miller when he was playing.
And Rasheed Wallace is kind of like one of the, you could say, started the stretch four. I mean, him and like Dirk and KG kind of like, and Chris C. Webb are kind of like those guys who kind of brought that power forward position to not into a box, just being on the post. You could take your game outside and be a playmaker, and that's your corner three from Rasheed is just fucking deadly.
How many big threes did that motherfucker hit? And how many 4-point plays did that transition into?
So
Tall ass
don't
fucking
understand how
power
skilled
center.
He was. He could shoot threes with either hand.
Yeah,
Like,
super skilled.
that's insane. That you can just be a lefty whenever you want. Like,
and like you said about like everyone has their own shot mechanics. Like his shot, so perfect for his dimensions as a player.
Yeah,
like that's almost
his follow through.
He's got kind of a fadeaway, almost unblockable. You know.
Yeah, his follow through is really smooth. I really liked Rasheed's follow through.
That was a team, man.
Yeah.
Yo, low key made me. I was rocking with the Lakers when they won against the Celtics, but low key that Game 7, man, I had flashbacks of Detroit Sheed, and they had fucking Garnett.
Oh yeah,
Shaq.
I know.
That was low key a Celtic team that we fucking beat that year, man.
That was. Yeah,
that Game 7 was sketchy too, right? Because Kobe really wasn't firing in all cylinders.
Yeah, that Game 7, Kobe sucked. Like, well, not sucked, but because he rebounded the hell out the ball that game. But offensively, like he just couldn't get it going. But we pulled it out. It's just like
shout out,
Al Metta, man. That's another guy. That's another one of my guys. He really gave me my first Drew League opportunity, like to act. Well, not my first opportunity to play in the Drew, but to actually like be one of the guys in the Drew.
Nice. So, how was it? Was he a coach or was he?
Yeah, he has his own team in there.
Okay.
Yeah,
what was it like playing? What was it like playing for him? Because Ron Artest or Metta was one of my favorite players growing up. Despite the Mouse in the Palace, like I love the defense and like
how everything connects, man.
Yeah, just seeing him like hustle hard on D and like still work on the offensive side and be a dog. It's fucking insane. So how did he like teach you anything like on your way up? Or
I learned a lot from Metta, man. Like that's one of the people who, like, to this day he believes in me something crazy. Like I don't, because he has this thing called X versus X that he does, which helps like local guys like get opportunities and stuff like that. He tries to give them a platform, basically. And I haven't been going like the last like year. I didn't play on the Drew League team this summer.
Okay.
But he had something that was going on to where in the East Asian Basketball League, they invited him to bring a team out to play. And I was one of the first people he thought of. Like I told him I couldn't make the tryout because he told me the tryout was like on a Tuesday. And I was like, nah, I can't even make it. And then he called me the next day. He was like, it's cool, bro. You're on the team. So like, So
hell yeah.
Like he looks out, man. Unfortunately, they ended up canceling it. That's another one of them things. Like something weird always happens, but they ended up canceling it. But I've learned so much from him. Like just him telling me like like things like it doesn't matter if you can score 20. He said, like he would tell me how much he hates that I don't go and try to rebound. Like he was like, why don't you crash? He's like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like you need to crash. He said, why wouldn't you rebound? He said, you can't score if we don't have the ball. Like
Mhm.
just stuff like that. Like as a
Yeah.
guard, you
That
still
makes
need to
sense.
be in there because we need the basketball. Like
Mhm.
yeah, like you're a great scorer, but you can never score if the other team's getting every rebound. So stuff like that. And then I told him I was tired once. This is my favorite like meta story. He had called timeout. He was like, no, I had said I'm tired. I did this. I was like, Metta, I need one. I need one. I had probably like 17 points in like the second quarter. Like I had like 17 and the Drew, it's only 8-minute quarters. So it's
Okay.
like when you hear about people scoring 60 in the Drew, it's crazy impressive. Like it's 8-minute
Yeah.
quarters.
Yeah.
So
That's insane.
I had like 17 and I told him I was tired. So he calls timeout. He was like, you're tired? Motherfucker, are you crazy? You can't be tired. I was like stuff like that, like to where he'll like just telling me like you should have the highest expectations for yourself. Like
Mhm.
you shouldn't be there's no way you should ever be tired in the game. Like you should never have to ask for a sub. You should be in that great of shape. Like you should love this enough to where you don't ever want to come out the game.
Mm.
And like just him going out, like he spent the whole time out cursing at me, like telling me how I can't get tired. And that's like my favorite. That's my favorite meta story.
But did he
And then
put you
him
back
as a
in,
coach
or
is
did
hilarious. Like
okay.
if he doesn't like seeing us get fouled, like he's gotten so many texts just walking on the like he'll walk on the court. Like he'll walk on middle of half court. That's a foul. That's a
Yeah.
foul. Yo, how's that not a foul? And like he's in the circle, like the logo of the court, and they'll tee him up, and like he's dope, man.
Yeah, it's dope seeing Metta evolve too as a player. I felt like
Yeah,
as a Laker fan at the time for me, but for you guys as a Laker fan, I feel like a lot of people were kind of skeptical about the Lakers acquiring Ron Artest and how that would go with Kobe Bryant because
Mm.
the season prior, they were kind of having their
Oh shoot! Hold on 1 second. It just said
okay,
I'm on 10%.
yeah,
Hold on 1 second.
handle. They had their one-on-ones,
Mhm.
but I don't know if they had like a transition period, but I felt like they clicked, and
Well, there's
the icing on the cake was the championship assist to him for the three. You know what I mean?
yeah, for
So
sure.
I
almost like
think
a
it helped
fairy tale
because
ending.
Kobe had someone else that could be a dog with him,
Yeah.
because Kobe's
Right.
like, "Fuck, man, I'm always yelling at these fools," and then here comes Metta, who's unpredictable. He's just, you get like a nice guy, and all of a sudden he's fucking yelling at you. Remember when he
Mhm.
did to James Harden? That fucking,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I wanted to talk about it. Fuck him forever for that, man.
so I mean,
Jeez.
it's just like,
Those memes about him with the
yeah,
gun in his head.
yeah.
God damn.
No, but I mean, I think I believe that Metta complimented that team so well because he kind of picked it up when Kobe, was just trying to focus on the game and not be the dog. Because
Mhm.
so many times Kobe was like, "All right, I gotta carry this fucking team. Now,
Yeah. And
now
then
I
at
gotta
that
get on their ass."
and at that point of Kobe's career, he wasn't like I mean, he can still play defense, but I don't think he can preserve himself to play
Right.
guard the best player and be a dog on offense. So at least he had Meta to like, okay,
Tell some people in the face.
you guard Paul Pierce, I'll guard fucking Rondo or Ray Allen, and then figure it out from there.
Yeah.
But there's a story too that Kobe and Ron Artest mentioned or Meta back in '08 when Kobe lost the championship in Boston. Meta just walks into the restroom while Kobe's in the shower, and he was like, "I'm gonna come over and help you win the championship, man. I'm gonna come over." And then, funny enough, 2 years later, he fucking actually comes.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But brings me to my point, and this is an interesting topic. We talked about you needing that asshole, right? To do
Mhm.
the almost like the dirty work, or not even the dirty work, the necessary work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you saw it with the failed Laker teams with Kobe. sometimes if you have that fire, but your teammates are all like, "Man, he's kind of an asshole, man. We need to chillax and stuff." It doesn't work,
He's
right? Like
mean.
Yeah.
it takes another person like Ron Artest to be like, "Nah, man, he's right. Like you guys are playing like pussies."
Yeah. Sometimes you need to hear it from like a secondary voice that's not as fired up, but still processing the same message out to
Right.
the rest of the team.
Like he's not being a dick, like he's telling the truth, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we
Yeah.
need to step it up.
Mhm.
And I feel
Because
like
he didn't even get that with Shaq. You know, Shaq was kind of fucking around
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. That's true.
So I guess you could say that was Kobe's first team, and that would kind of like solidify what he was preaching.
Mhm.
mhm.
Because
For
Metta was like that sidekick. He was his I wouldn't say Robin because that was not no Robin, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
He's a Nightwing, I guess you want to call it Oracle Comics, but he was in everyone's ear. Like you'd hear it on this side with Kobe, you had Metta right here.
Mhm. Yeah, 'cause
It's also I think like one of those things where if you're like a dominant character like Kobe and you had a bunch of passive players like fucking Sasha Vujacic and shit, like you're just gonna be like, okay,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like if
Yeah.
Kobe's saying like running the wrong play, I feel like Metta is one of the type of players to be like, hey, I don't think we should run that. And that type of respectful disagreement, I feel like gains a lot of respect for like leaders that are
Yeah.
kind of like Kobe-esque instead of like the LeBron-esque type of leaders, right?
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
Metta toughened up fucking Pal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for
You
sure.
know, he did because Kobe would be like, man, fuck this fool.
You want it, mic test? No. But yeah, man, that's crazy. But what he did to James Harden, man, I don't know about all that.
That shit was wild though when it happened. I remember watching that game live. I was like, oh shit. And I thought it was a flop at first. I thought it was a flop. I thought, oh, here's James Harden. And I was you see a replay and he's like,
Bam! Yeah.
and then all the memes that came out were fucking hilarious. Like you said, the wavy head and all that shit. That shit was
Dude, I
fucking
was so mad when he did that because, like, that was the game one of the games we won against OKC, and that was a really good OKC team. We needed to be
yeah.
perfect to beat them, and then Ron Artest does that, and then he gets like suspended, and then like, all right, we definitely don't have a chance anymore.
Oh man. Yeah, it was crazy because like when the Lakers the last few years of the like Pau Gasol Laker team,
Mm,
they were playing a lot of teams on the verge of their like burst to success, you know, like
yeah,
they were playing a bubbling Warriors before the Warriors became the fucking
Mhm.
champs that they are.
Yeah.
They were playing the Thunders before the Thunders realized that they were all fucking superheroes, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
And like you said, like the Thunder, I remember watching those series, they barely got out of that low key.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, that '09 series when Westbrook, James Harden, and they're all young boys still. Like they took us to 6 games, so it was like, I mean, KD was coming to his own. It was scary. I mean, but thankfully, Kobe saves the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the difference when you have that veteran in Kobe coming in. He
Mhm.
knows how to handle those game time situations. He's like, dude, these guys are good, but they're not that good.
Yeah, it's not their time yet. It's
Yeah.
my time.
Exactly. That was
Yeah.
Kobe's mentality. That's why you couldn't fuck with him because it don't
Mhm.
matter what you try to do to him, he knew how to beat you anyways.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
it's like Kobe always like he was obsessed with the sport, and that's why I was such a fan of his. But I didn't like that he was a Laker.
Yeah.
But I always loved how crazy obsessed he was with the game. You know, he didn't give a fuck. He wasn't trying to make friends on the court. And now you got all these people that are friends and LeBron friends with everybody.
Yeah. It's like, bro, what happened to the competition?
Yeah, exactly. LeBron's just being friends just in case he needs you to join his squad later on.
Just like a place marker.
Yeah. It's like, hey man, we cool, right? All right. Because we're trying to get rid of Westbrook.
Oh no. I did like, I mean, as much as I like the competitiveness, it is crazy because I mean, as long-term fans of NBA, you've kind of seen it from the competitive, nah, they're with that team, fuck them, you know,
Mhm.
into like the Chris Paul, LeBron James era of hey, everybody's cool, you know, they're hanging out, they want to play with each other instead of um, you know, build their team up and go against another team. I
Yeah.
did kind of like that, even though I do like the competitiveness they that the game brought when everyone was kind of, you know, the
But it's
ladder,
just
what I was talking about. But it was cool seeing people connect
Yeah.
and
it was just weird to me though when like you're training with someone like when I saw LeBron and KD work out, I was like, you're training with someone who you're pretty much going to face in the finals or in the playoffs, whatever it may be. Why aren't you training with like your team? So that was just like an odd concept to me to grasp. But you know,
Yeah.
to each his own. Like I'm not a fucking NBA player, so what the fuck do I know? But it just it's just hard for me from growing up to see like no one's really friends, and then you all of a sudden there was no. I felt like there wasn't any like smooth transition to that. It was just like it just happened overnight,
Yeah.
and it was like hard for me to grasp and understand that concept.
Yeah, like back then, you see the fucking the bad boys. Not like I was around watching that team or anything, but
Yeah,
you
but
know
yeah,
about them as a
mhm,
basketball fan. You know about these dynasties, and
mhm.
Bad Boys was one of them. If you weren't one of them, fuck you, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
that was dope. And now it's just like if you ain't one of us, you want to join.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
well,
And
I mean, like Michael Jordan kind of had that attitude too. Like, if you ever worked out, like that's the thing that the friends said. Like, we're playing in the finals. Why am I working out with you? If
Yeah.
yeah,
you went as much as worked out with Michael Jordan, you goddamn better be sure that he was taking intel.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny, they talk about, when Kobe so that's when Kobe played Reggie and the Pacers in the 2000 finals. I guess Reggie was always at UCLA because he went to UCLA doing workouts and stuff, and Kobe would always pull up and like just challenge him to one-on-ones. They weren't even working out together; they're just playing one-on-one against each other. And of course, Kobe knows he took everything that he learned from Reggie Miller's style of defense and used it to his advantage during that moment when Shaq got fouled out. And it's just like, damn, this fool is like nonstop competing.
Yeah. I will say though, as much as I bash on LeBron, the one really cool thing about LeBron is his ability to recollect like every minute detail of the basketball
Mhm.
game.
Yeah, for
But I'm skeptical. He is kind of a fraud. You guys seen those videos of him like holding a book and like they
sure.
ask him about the
oh my
book and he's
god,
just like, I just started reading this. It's a
Yeah.
great book. It talks about, you know,
Yeah.
just
well, you know what's
bullshitting on
funny?
this.
There was this meme that they were showing of LeBron with all those books, and he's been on the same page every time walking in, and it's still the front of the book. It's like, damn, this fool can't get past the table of contents.
No,
So,
it's funny because I think on the barbershop too, Jalen Ramsey called him out on because LeBron said some crazy shit like, "Yeah, Coach McVay stole my plays on from my Madden streams or whatever," and then Jalen Ramsey was like, "You know what they're talking about you on Twitter, right? Are you sure?" And then everyone just starts laughing. Even LeBron's laughing too. I'm like, so of course he's probably fucking capping on
those
that.
you know those memes of him like like what was it, the early memes of him when he was talking? It's like I knew that would happen.
Yeah,
Those are funny. Just talking
yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah,
lying
it's the
LeBron.
greatest memes ever, man. Man, I
I knew
knew
that
that
was
was gonna
gonna.
happen.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they were grilling him for the whole takeoff tribute. He was like, "Man, I was listening to him since 2010. I was telling people this was it. This
Yeah.
was it." And then someone said they didn't debut until like 2012, bro.
Or those memes of man, I love this song.
Mm,
Telling you the lyrics and shit.
yeah.
Yeah, those were funny. I saw that TikTok. He's not even saying the exact words. He was just
Yeah.
mumbling shit. It's like this song's hot. It's my favorite. What are
Oh
you
man,
saying,
been
bro?
there, dog. I get it. Oh man, it's
Where's our
funny.
guest? Where's our guest though?
He's coming back right now.
Oh,
He
it's her
said,
back. Okay, all right, cool.
"Yeah, I think he probably took the phone call real quick."
Okay, for sure.
But yeah, damn, been around, man. C-Mag, Maggette,
Yeah,
or Test.
for
That's
test.
crazy.
Dude, Corey Maggette, when I was living in New York for a minute, I watched Big Three championship game in Brooklyn.
Mhm.
Dude, Corey Maggette was fucking crazy. Like he wasn't even doing anything flashy. He would just back you down, turn around, pull up, jab step right, go pull up left, like jab step left, fake rite. I mean, he just had it all in the bag, and I'm like, for his age, like to be that sharp on your skills and fucking like his shoulder, like he has one of the most chiseled shoulders that I've ever seen. And
Yo.
I can't even. No, I'm just saying, like
Not even
from.
Dwight Howard.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
Dwight
yeah,
Howard is ridiculous.
Dwight Howard's ridiculous prime, but Corey Maggette was crazy. Like, and just imagining him like backing you down with those shoulders, I couldn't even bear like the fucking pain that must be like if you're taking that
What
in
an
your chest.
imagination you have there.
Francis is just admiring Corey Maggette's shoulders right now.
I was just saying, like, cause I had pretty good seats at the fucking Big Three when I watched
That's
championship,
some
and I was
good
like,
ass beats.
the fuck, those shoulders are crazy, dog.
No, yeah, when he was doing his thing with the Clippers, Loki, he was a player to scout because I mean the Clippers with they had Elton Brand,
Yeah, they had like
and them
Elton
all guys, right?
Brand, Baron Davis. That was a squad still
Sam
too,
Sam
but
Cassell was on that team too, or
I'm
what?
not sure,
Uh-huh.
maybe. But
But
Corey Maggette was, and
Corey
that was
Maggette
like,
was killing it
no,
around that time.
no, I think that was like the Lamar Odom, like Knuckleheads era too, because it was like Lamar, Corey
Oh,
Maggette, and Q Rich, and that's
Oh,
Oh,
when,
that's
Q
right.
Rich.
yeah. So that was a fun time to watch them.
What are
Yeah.
we talking about?
Corey Maggette's shoulders.
Oh,
Well, we were
Corey.
talking, yeah. Hey, Corey Maggette's shoulders are fucking crazy, right? Like those shits are like
So I
fucking.
watched his McDonald's All American game, like dunk contest. He was
Mhm.
that big then.
That's crazy.
Like, how have you been the same size since you were 17? That's weird, bro. It's like,
Yeah, because
Hey,
I,
that's
was- I was telling them that I watched the Big Three finals like in Brooklyn a couple years ago, and like Corey Maggette's game was so on point and like just amazing to watch. Still, like even in a 3-on-3 kind of setting, like he was just pulling up, jab stepping, backing people down with ease, and it was like, what is happening? I thought you.
Corey was playing in the Drew this summer.
Oh, he was. Damn, how old is he? Right? How old is he now?
I think 43, 44.
Damn,
He
fucking
got a
that's
dunk.
crazy.
He got a dunk in there, nasty little back stretch in there.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the people that don't know what the Drew League is, Vito, just tell people what the Drew League is. It's a pro American league, right?
Yeah, it's a pro amateur league to where literally, so it being in LA, it brings a lot of people like James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, like all the LA guys, Paul George, Nick Young, like everybody's played in it. Like it's kind of like if you're from LA, that's like a rite of passage type of thing. Like if you got into the Drew and you were able to make a decent name for yourself, like around LA, California, like well now the country because of YouTube and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And even this summer it was broadcasted on NBA.com and stuff like that. So
Oh, no way.
yeah, it was huge this summer. Like
Nice.
I was so upset because this was my worst year ever because I fractured my wrist beginning of the summer. I got undercut. I got ran over by LeBron stunt double in Space Jam. Like it was a rough summer, bro. Like, oh man. I was just so unhealthy the whole summer. But the Drew is like, how can I explain? Like if you're living in LA and you're an NBA guy, you're gonna play in it just because it's the most competition you're gonna find all summer.
Nice.
Like not even just NBA guys, like top overseas guys. Like I don't know if you guys know who Mike James is, but he plays in it. He's one of the like big names overseas. He makes millions playing overseas. Like so.
Frank Nitty's in there too, right?
Yeah, that's my guy. Yeah, Frank's in there. Frank is really kind of like almost what all of us like look to as like what the Drew can do for you.
I see.
Because Frank made a big name for himself in the Drew. You know, I don't think he became a pro until like 28 or something like that. And it's because of the Drew and making, the connections he made through there, the name he made, and then now he's able to live extremely comfortable playing basketball.
Okay. Who was like the hardest player, or who was like the toughest person to guard in the Drew League?
Frank.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And the thing is, like so my first ever Drew League game was against Frank It was
Oh
against
shit.
Frank and Metta. Frank and Metta was on the same team. It was the games team at that time. I think it was called Money Gang.
Mhm.
And it was Frank, Metta, Kwame Alexander. That was the guy with dreadlocks that he went to Cal State San Bernardino, but he was on ESPN literally every week because of a crazy dunk he was doing. Like he broke backboards, broke the whole
Jeez.
basket once. Like
Damn.
so the game had a squad, and then I was on it. It was my first game, and Quincy Miller was playing this was when Quincy Miller was on Denver. And then who else was on my team? It was it. It was really just Quincy. It was, and we played, and I was super nervous just because I was playing against Metta,
Mhm.
and because at this point I don't know Metta, like, and this is I'm a Laker fan, so of course I'm starstruck almost.
Mhm.
So I was super nervous just because of that alone, and I played against Frank in the JBL and stuff like that, but this is like it's prime time game
Mhm.
because the team I was on was JaVale McGee's team. He didn't play. He never played for whatever reason.
Mhm.
But I was on his team,
JaVale.
so they had
Shout
it
out
like
JaVale.
prime time. Yeah,
Okay.
shout out to JaVale McGee, man.
What a good.
They had it like prime. I've never even met him. That's the crazy thing. I played on his team for a whole summer and never met him. But
Sounds like a very JaVale McGee thing to happen.
yeah.
The only Drew League I've ever been to, he gave me a dap.
Nice.
And that's weird because that's a game he played in.
Probably, yeah. It's yeah, that was strange. But yeah, so Frank is definitely the hardest, especially now because he has a legit jump shot now.
Nice.
So it's difficult when you can't give him that gap because he's so quick and then he's so shifty as well. So I would say Frank was the hardest person I guarded, and
All right.
yeah,
Yeah, I had a funny story about Frank because I was selling some Air Force Ones at Louis Vuittons. I didn't know it was him messaging me. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna meet up with this guy. My girl was driving us to Spectrum where I was gonna meet him. She's like, do you even know who this is? I was like, his name was Franklin Session. Obviously, that's his real name. So I was like,
yeah.
yeah. I was like, some guy named Franklin Session the whole time. I was like, why does it sound so fucking familiar? So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go on his page. And he's got this whole picture of him. And I was like, oh shit, it's Frank Nitty. I was like, I'm meeting up with Frank Nitty right now. So I pull up
That's funny.
and I'm like, oh shit, it's Frank. He's like the nicest dude, super
Nah,
cool.
he's hilarious. Like
Yeah,
he's
he was super chill. And then I pull up and I was like, hey man, I'm not gonna act like I don't know who you are. And he was just laughing about it. And I was like, yo, so can I get a picture with this? He's like, yeah, that's cool, man. So I got a picture with him and he was super cool. He was telling me how he was with the Big Three, like he was playing for the Big Three for a little bit. So
yeah, he's actually a captain. He's a captain of the Killer Threes. He was because I was trying to get into the Big Three last summer, and he was actually one of the people who reached out as far as like wanting to draft me, well, interested in drafting me because I didn't end up playing. But yeah, so Frank's real cool, man. That's real cool, dude. I've known him now like probably since probably the same time like I met Corey, like 16, 17, something like that. Yeah.
Nice.
That's what's up. So I wanted to ask because you did bring up the point of people sometimes like Corey Maggette was always that size, and one player that sticks out to my mind in my mind is Scottie Pippen, as far as a player with an amazing, like incredible growth spurt from like high school, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned your parents were short and your grandparents were the taller ones. Did you have a growth spurt somewhere in your career, and did you have to switch like positions because of that?
Yeah, so my growth spurt happened, I think my sophomore year, like end of my sophomore year. I was like probably 5'9", 5'10", like my freshman year, and like most of my sophomore season, I was like that height, and then like the end of school year, I remember my knees and stuff hurting, and then I shot up to like 6'3" by I want to say like June, July-ish.
That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah. Like it was weird. Like that was a
Imagine
really
that.
weird time. Like
Man, just waking up.
I was
What the fuck?
miserable. Like nobody could be.
I know, right? You just wake up and you're like, "Oh shit, I'm fucking 6'3" now."
Yeah. You know what's funny? Remember that Michael Jordan? Because he said his parents were both short. He's like, I don't know how to, and he said the only explanation he had was his mom was sleeping with the milkman. I was like, what?
Yeah, I did hear
He said the milkman was 6 something. I like what was
Yeah, he was like, the milkman was 6'6".
it? Yeah, man.
That's hella funny.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna assume that you started off as a 1 and 2,
Yeah,
then moved up to 3 and 4.
I was a point guard literally my sophomore year because I was still playing at JV my sophomore year, and I was a point guard. And then towards the end, because I grew a little bit towards the end, I was like more of like a wing, and then because we were a short JV team anyway, like so
Yeah. Didn't matter.
I started playing like multiple positions and stuff like that. Then I shot up, and I actually played varsity in the playoffs, and yeah, so that was cool. That so my position I became a wing from then on, and then now I'm back to being a point / shooting guard. So
Oh,
comes full
nice.
circle.
Would you say you're more comfortable with a 1-2 position opposed to the big 3-4?
Yeah, I for sure. I hate playing the 4. I had to play the 4 a lot at Vanguard, and
Oh,
I was miserable playing it, especially because everybody knew I was like the best scorer on the team, and then I felt like I was playing a position to where I couldn't get the my best out,
Mm,
you know. But
yeah.
right.
it was at Vanguard is very much of a system, so at the same time, like I probably would have only scored like 2 or 3 more points playing a different position. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, see, this was our power forward right here. It's our center power forward back in our high school
Fuck,
squad.
that's how fucking short we were, bro. Fucking JV, I was fucking 5'10", bro. I had no growth, but I was 5'10" from sophomore year on.
Man, I know a lot of people like that to where like let me think. I had a buddy that was like 5'10" in like 7th grade,
Yeah.
and then he grew like 1 more inch since like so
Yeah.
like we all thought he was gonna be the tallest out of everybody, and he just
You just stop.
it was over with.
The thing was, I knew I was gonna stop at some point. Like, I had no choice though, because everyone else was shorter than me.
Yeah, it'd be funny
Yeah.
when like you'd see the tallest person on the other team, and they're like, "I heard Francis, you're jumping," and it's like, "What the fuck?"
Do you even jump at that point? You know,
Yeah,
you
there's
just
no point.
stand
I'm
there.
just, there's no point in jumping.
Like it's a defensive tip, guys. Let's get
Yeah,
let's have
yeah.
4 back.
You know, what's funny is your coach gets mad at you for not even trying. Like, what do you want me to do? Just jump for credit?
All right, let's be realistic, coach. Come on now. Yeah.
It's
But,
funny.
yeah,
But yeah,
Vanguard was weird, bro. Like, actually, I was the backup point. Like, that's how weird of a system it was. Like, it was. I was like, I started at the 4, and then when our point guard came out, I became the point. It was. So it was like he knew I was a guard, but he still kept sticking me right here. Like,
Is it wanted you to be a stretch 4 or something?
I don't know. It didn't help. Like,
Yeah.
because like at the end of the game, literally there was so my wife's best friend, she had 2 sisters. One of them went to the school as well. They would say, "Oh, put the saviors in." It was me and my friend Hood, because like it would be like a tight game like the whole time. This is a conference, and then like Coach Soliday would just like put me and my friend Hood in, and it was literally like time. Like, okay, yeah, you guys get to play your game right now. Go ahead,
Take over.
yeah, like. And some days it would work, and then sometimes like.
But it's just too late.
Yeah, exactly. So we had a bunch of games to where we made comebacks and won, and then we made comebacks and then couldn't pull it out, stuff like that. But
Okay.
it was weird, man. Love Coach Soliday though. Like as a person, love him to death. Even as a coach, like he has his moments of being an amazing coach, but then he has his moments, just like every coach that just kind of like I'm gonna just keep trying it this way because this is the way I like it.
Yeah, they're not open to criticism or something. Yeah.
It's
I
funny.
do the
It's
same
almost
thing with my little AAU kids. Like I'll be stubborn and try to keep doing the same thing. Like you guys just aren't listening. And in actuality, the play is not working right now.
Yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say it reminds me of our homie Ryan, and the freshman team in our high school. He was obviously the best, but he knew it, so he wouldn't really try when we run suicides. Be talking to the volleyball girls, you know what I mean? And you knew our freshman coach, he was a hothead. So what had happened was he picked like obviously the teacher's pet or the coach's pet as the captain, and he was starting in his position as the 2. But after if the game's close, after 3 minutes, they sub Ryan in real quick.
Bro,
but he never got the starting position to make a point. You know what I
mean? Yeah.
It's funny.
Like everybody knows this is what needs to happen, but we're gonna keep doing this.
Yeah, at that point too, like his face on the bench was like, "What the fuck?" Like the lesson that the coach was trying to teach him wasn't working because he already knew what the game was. You know what I mean?
Man, I happened a lot of Last Chance U. This new season, Last Chance U. It seemed like there was games where the coach like purposely like this trying like to do what he want, like just being stubborn about it. Like, bro, put your damn 7-footer in the game, bro. You got a 7-footer right there that's like good, like, coordinated, can block every shot, but you don't want to put him in the game because he missed out on one rebound.
There's times to teach a lesson, and there's times to just swallow your pride.
It was.
Yeah, man. As a coach too, like if you're gonna start playing with like high caliber players, I feel like that's why the Redeem team was so cool, because you saw not only Kobe but like how Coach K managed the team and all the egos, because it was cool how I like how he said, "I want you to bring your egos from your individual team, but put it under a collective umbrella." That way you kind of bring your personality and you're not just kind of this lost empty vessel in a new team. And I wanted to ask, go ahead.
I didn't like, the only thing I didn't like about the Redeem team was them not like shining any light on Darren Williams and Michael Redd.
Oh, Michael Redd was such a key player to that team.
Yeah, I was like, why is he not getting any love? And then especially because he had to end his career early and stuff like that, I felt like they should definitely shine a little bit of light on this guy, because this was a really good player.
Fucking shooter.
Like a slingshot shot. It was crazy.
That would have been dope, like to introduce him to this era of basketball to me.
I remember Darren Williams. I watched a lot of that Olympics, and Darren Williams was picking up every guard full court and like making them work just to get to the half. It was amazing to watch.
Like they didn't even read. Like y'all didn't want to interview these guys.
Yeah. At least 3 questions or something.
Interviewing Carlos Boozer, like
yeah, right. Boozer was all over that documentary.
And the whole thing.
That's funny. Hey, did you guys see that boxing match that Darren Williams had?
He fought like a football player, right?
Yeah, I think he did. He did pretty well. He was looking good.
Yeah, I think he fought
as an NBA player boxing.
I don't agree with these guys doing that, man.
Did you see Nick Young go at it?
Yeah, that was hilarious. That
was funny.
He's flopping in boxing. I'm like, what are you doing?
If anyone should have done anything, it was Nate Robinson. What was Nate Robinson doing?
That's what I was about to say. It's funny until you get Nate Robinson. Then it's like, oh shit, man.
You got knocked out. Fuck out.
That was sad, bro. I was so disappointed. The way he was talking, like, I just want to go out and show that I'm actually one of the greatest athletes of all time. And then literally he looked terrible the whole fight.
He got Pacquiao, bro.
Man, that was
but out of all the NBA players that have transitioned, I think Darren Williams did the best. And it's funny that you guys mentioned the highlights of Darren Williams. I felt like while I was watching the documentary, as soon as a highlight of Darren Williamson started playing, it would cut to another scene. I'm like, oh shit!
Yeah.
I was so like that was the only when I watched it the second time. That's when I really caught it. I'm like, hold on, I remember this. Like these guys are like important. Oh man!
Damn, you guys think they would have made it without Kobe though?
No.
No.
I don't think the mindset would have changed if he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think Melo had the funniest scene, by the way, and when he was talking about, I wasn't waking up in that 4 in the morning.
Yeah, I'll go to the gym. I'm fucking 4 in the morning.
Yeah, that's too fucking early.
You kept the real, right?
Oh man, I laughed so hard.
Yeah, that was hella funny.
I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't waking up in the fucking 4 in the morning.
That's mellow. I love it.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Who's like your top? Who's your like all-time starting 5?
Yeah, let's do from all the era. Let's build our all-time starting 5. Let's start with you.
Like one person from each era, or like
just like a super team. You know.
Oh, okay.
So you could do like a Magic Johnson with a Devin Booker. Be creative. It's this NBA 2K fucking blacktop.
Okay. I'm going first?
Yep.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, I'm going to throw everybody off with my first one. I'm putting Derrick Rose at the point guard position.
Okay. Prime D Rose.
No such that's another thing. I always tell people there's no such thing as Prime D Rose. He was 20.
Yeah, that's true. We never got to see Prime D Rose.
That's why I hate people compare Russ and Derrick Rose. I'm like, you can't. You're comparing Russ at his greatest to D Rose rising. Like it's not fair.
Yeah.
But I'm putting Derrick Rose at the point just because that's one of my favorite players ever. This is where it's hard because me being biased, I want to put Kobe there, but then at the 2, but then Jordan.
That's where I trip up.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on the 2 and come back.
Yeah.
The 3, I'll go LeBron. The 4, Tim Duncan, and the 5, Shaq.
Nice.
And that's all basically like my era. Like I don't like going back in the 90s and 80s, man. I didn't see it enough.
Yeah.
But I'm just keeping consistent, man. Kobe at the 2.
There you go.
Solid. I'll go. I would run with James Harden as my 1. It's gonna be a funky team. We're gonna go with Steph Curry at the 2. So we're just gonna be playing Phoenix Suns basketball.
Yeah, I can already see where this is going.
For 3, I think LeBron would be a good 3 for that team.
I thought you would go KD.
I'm running with KD as my 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and my 4 would probably be like man. It sucks that LaMarcus Aldridge didn't become what I thought he would be. I feel like he would be like Rasheed Wallace 2.0.
Yeah, dude.
But he's not, so I'm gonna go with man. Who's a good 4? Let's go with this throws it off, but I'm just gonna go based on preference because he's my boy. What's his name? Dude, he's in the Sixers now with James Harden, but he was in the Bucks.
Fucking
corner shooter.
PJ Tucker?
PJ Tucker.
Oh my God. Your team's getting cooked, bro.
in the best of 7, we might score 200 though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you had LeBron at the 3?
Yeah, LeBron's my 3.
Like LeBron prime Bron?
I mean, it's looking like with this team, he'd probably have to be like a
it has to be
Laker
Miami.
LeBron, might be a Miami LeBron. I don't think the Cavs LeBron.
Are getting cooked defensively.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We just trying to sell tickets, baby. We just
gonna go PJ and KD play all the defense. Jesus. Oh man, that's tough.
All right, I'll go next.
right.
My number one, my point guard is gonna be Jason Kidd. I fucked with Jason Kidd heavy growing up.
Mm.
Number two, of course, I'm biased too. I gotta go Kobe.
Mhm.
Number three, fuck, I don't know. Number three, I'll go KD. I gotta go KD.
Yeah.
And then 4, KG. And then
Good one.
my 5 is Hakeem the Dream.
Ooh.
Tough.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, that's tough.
My number one would be, I'm gonna try and mix some like current players that I think would mesh well with this team. So my number one would be Dame Dalla, because he's one of my
Ooh,
favorite point guards right now.
Doesn't
I
get enough
think,
love, man.
for
I
real
know,
though.
and I like how he's so loyal to Portland, but Portland's,
I
And
don't.
not really doing shit for him. It's like, I understand if you left, they're not doing shit
I don't
for
like how
you.
loyal he is to Portland.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I like the loyalty he has, not to
Yeah.
Portland in particular, but just the fact that he's trying to do it there, and I like that mindset. But
It's not
I
gonna
think at number
happen.
two, MJ. That's
Mm.
a great one for me. Number three, I'd like to go with KD. I like KD just because he can be outside camping while MJ is pushing in, or Dame, and he's out there camping for that three. Because every time you leave KD open, it's like fuck.
Yeah,
You know?
that's really enough money.
My 4 would be Tim Duncan. That way he could space the floor a little bit more too and leave it open. And then I would put Shaq in there. Just fucking grab the
Like it.
balls. I think that'd be a good team. That would be very cohesive together. You got offensive and defensive minds working together. So
Yeah, that's a pretty
that'd
good
be a great
squad.
team.
Yeah.
I know I got money on my squad, guys.
You over the cap. That's why you got money on.
Just on the over under though. Not on the fucking money line.
Yeah, for sure gonna be exciting. It's only one ball though.
For real, man. Just to touch on, because like you said, Drew League was almost like you said. I like how you called it like a rite of passage for the LA Ballers.
Mhm.
And my favorite is James Harden. James Harden's a player that I don't know if he just started playing
Changed
there,
the
more so
rules,
in the.
man.
You said what?
He said James Harden's one of the people. So like when you talk about basketball players like being great, you gotta like James Harden changed the rules of basketball.
Oh yeah,
I try to
100%.
tell people,
Yeah,
man.
that third
Yeah.
step.
Yeah, because that live ball. So what the rule is like if you're able to dribble, you can take as many steps as you want, like as long as you have a live dribble. So like if I go here and I just keep stepping back and then decide to shoot, I took 5 steps, but I could have dribbled.
Yeah.
Like, so he seen a loophole and he dove right in it.
Fucking
Sure,
rule
man.
book.
Yeah, that's crazy because we did talk about that
man.
loophole that he found, and it's crazy
Yeah.
seeing players just, they're so focused and determined to get better with their game that they almost break the game and find loopholes, like what James Harden did, kind of like what Steph Curry did, or is doing. I mean, like, what do you think you think that's just kind of hours into the game, or do you think the game has flaws as far as their rule sets?
I think I love it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out like when he like I want to ask him like how he came about figuring that out. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like when did you realize like you can take 5 steps back as long as you can dribble? Like was it a trainer who told you that? Like there needs to be like I don't get why nobody's interviewed him about this.
It's a good point, yeah. And it's the frustrating thing about that is it's not consistently called, right? I mean, you might have a ref in Sacramento that's like, nah, that bullshit ain't gonna fly with me tonight, right?
Even not even just that rule, the offensive player creating the contact, they had to change it because he was going to the free throw line too damn much.
Right.
So him and Trae Young, but Harden started all that, like drawing the foul stuff. Like that, like to me, when you talk about greats, you gotta talk about people like they had to change the rules for like Shaq. They had to change the rules for Shaq, like stuff like that. So I think Harden definitely has to, even though like he only plays one end. I think people don't understand like what he did, and I think it's gonna go overlooked forever.
Right. I mean, you're seeing it right now. I feel like you can't mention James Harden without mentioning Manu Ginobili.
Mm.
And right now, I watched this interview with Jamie Foxx, and I mean, we've experienced this on the basketball court. The new age ballers, as far as the younger generation goes, they barely know who Michael Jordan is. He's like the
Yeah,
crying meme to some people, you know. They don't
and
understand the
I
greatness.
hate it so much,
Yeah.
man. Because even if you look at him on the Wizards, like bro, he was an old man averaging 20+ points a game.
Yeah,
Like that's
against the top
insane.
of the competition too, right?
Yeah, and I tell people all the time he averaged 20, and to me there's no debate. That era of basketball had the best one-on-one on-ball defenders ever.
Hmm.
Like you got Kobe, you got Ron Artest, Bruce Bowen, Shane Battier, all these guys who were literally known, Tony Allen, all these guys were just known for playing defense on the ball, and he averaged 20 against them. That's like at 40 plus years old. That's crazy.
And I think he had a few 50-point games too, right?
Right?
As a
Yeah.
Wizard.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Amazing.
Like that's I can't. I always like my kids, my AAU team. They'll try to argue with me, and then that's the stuff that I'll bring up. I was like, think about this. Your dad, right? You know how old your dad is. Think about him going into the NBA right now and doing this. like, doing this, and then not only doing that, but he's doing it on who's a great defender right now? On
PJ
ball.
Tucker, maybe? Or Drew Holiday is a good one.
Yeah, that's somebody I would compare it to. Like, because
Yeah.
he would have been, because PJ Tucker wouldn't have been considered an elite defender with those guys that I just named.
Yeah.
But Drew Holiday for sure. Like he's doing that against he's going in and he's seeing that person and like, all right, I'm giving 20 plus.
Damn.
Like that's crazy. That's insane. Jordan got 50 put on him by Kobe because he was still good. And told Kobe, you can put the shoes on, but you still never can fill them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
This is a 40-year-old man talking to the best player in the NBA like that.
Shit.
Like, man, people under they don't. This new generation doesn't understand.
Yeah.
It is cool seeing like some kids going like, yeah, my favorite's Michael Jordan. But you kind of look at him skeptical, like, what do you know about Michael Jordan? Besides what your dad told you, you know?
Yeah.
How do you even know?
Then he starts YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, right?
And then he got them the Netflix documentary. That helped him a lot, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also, well, the OG Space Jam, but yeah, it's kind of sad, and like I said, the manage Ginobili as far as changing the game. I feel like
it's another
only a handful of the players I've coached know Manu Ginobili. It's usually the Argentinian kids too, you know.
The Lionel Messi fans.
Seriously.
Yeah, man. That's Manu's one of the guys, man. Euro step, the snake dribble, like that's stuff like we didn't see, like coming off a screen and literally throwing it completely the opposite, like the same direction you just came from. Then Euro stepping the big, like he just took one dribble from the NBA line, Euro stepped and got a layup. Like, how did he move his body like that? like
as far as
that.
Offensively skilled players, I do give James Harden a lot of credit, but I feel like Kyrie Irving's style of weaving through and just, you know, there's no other word to describe it except for counters. Like he's got a counter for your counter. You know what I mean? I feel like for his dimension, I don't know. We could open this up too. Who do you guys think is the hardest player to guard in the NBA? I feel like he's up there as far as it doesn't matter who's on him, right?
Hardest to guard for me, all of them. They're all NBA players. They're all hard for me.
Are we going like guards
Hey.
or like everybody in the NBA, or just guards, wings, and stuff like that?
Yeah, let's go everybody in the NBA because you could put Kevin Durant in there too, right?
Forget that. Man, Giannis.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I don't want to guard that guy.
Giannis and Zion. Like, if you just talking about like not being able to stop them, it's got to be those two. But skill wise, like more like skill wise, like taking skill, like having to really put hours and hours and hours doing certain stuff is Kyrie for sure.
Yeah, that handle's crazy.
Handle, footwork, everything.
The layup package too, man.
Yeah.
And like you said, you don't get to appreciate some of the things that he does until you break down his highlights and you see his the way he cuts to the defense in slow motion, dude. The way
poetry,
the ball rotation too. Nobody, like, as far as dribbling goes, and I know you've taught a lot of basketball classes and clinics. Nobody really talks about ball rotation as far as maneuvering on a basketball court, right? The way he like spins the ball to the right to either
I call
get it going another way. You know, he's so advanced with it. It's crazy.
I call it ball manipulation. Like, you got to be able to manipulate like the ball. Like it's gonna go where you want it to go. That's why that's how I break it down to kids, like with certain moves and stuff like that. Because it's crazy, like how many kids don't understand that they control where the ball goes. Like it's weird to me, like seeing that. But yeah, he like the way he's able to manipulate the basketball is insane.
Did you as far as growing up and working on your basketball skills, for me, I really loved working on dribbling. I grew up kind of, with Allen Iverson and one obviously with the hot sauce. But that ended up becoming my weakness because my hours were spent on dribbling and one moves, layups, driving to the rim instead of shooting. So shooting was one of the weaknesses that I had to work on. As far as you growing into the basketball player you are, what was one area that you knew was an area you had to work on to get to the next level?
Mid-range jump shot.
Dude, no way. For real? I feel like that's your strength, bro. That's crazy.
That's how it became my strength because, like, I used to, like I told you, when I was younger, I just drove. Like, I was literally, like, high motor. Like, I'm just trying to play in transition any chance I get. Or I'm trying to rip through and dunk on anybody in the paint. Like, that was my mindset of basketball. And then I call him my Uncle Troy, but I met him around that time, like my junior year in high school. And that became like kind of like how my pop was, the one that broke down the game for me and stuff like that. And he worked with me as far as like train. Like, that's probably the only person I could ever say is my actual trainer is my Uncle Troy. Like, he instilled in me, he was like, that's gonna make basketball so easy for you. He said, why would you need to go down there? You see the help there. Why are you going all the way to the help? You just beat that guy. Right? So you're by yourself in this area. What are you going anywhere else for? So that's how the mid-range became like so bread and butter for me, because that's all we worked on like for 2 summers straight, was getting to the certain spots in the mid-range.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about it, basketball IQ style, if you have that explosive driving play style, the mid-range pull-up is such a complementary skill to add onto that, right? Like, it just opens up a bunch of different pathways of how to maneuver different situational.
I'm literally waiting for Russ to completely shake off like being in LA so that he can get, because for years he had one of the best mid-range jump shots.
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know where it went.
like, so there was literally, so this is, I forgot when this was. It was like a meme, not even a meme. I don't know what to call it, but it was like Kyrie side by side with Russ. and it was categories like who's better at this, and this, and it said mid range, and I reposted it so quick. I was like, how do y'all have that Kyrie is definitely better at mid range jump shots than Russ? Like that is half his points that he scores. It's that mid range because everybody's just so scared of his drive that he as soon as he attacks, they're backing up, and he just like oh man, it's I really think he just hasn't completely shaken off that. Okay, I'm a Laker and all these expectations because he's still playing he's playing really good now. Like I think it got into his head, but I was one of the Laker fans, so we just too hard on people, bro. I know this is off topic, but we're just too hard on people. Like the KCP thing. I used to tweet after every time he had a good game. I'd be like, KCP, good game. 15 KCP at 15 tonight. Good game, KCP. Like I used to just trying to get that trend going. Like, bro, like he's actually playing good for us, and be like he's not. And we're treating him like he's a superstar, and he's supposed to have a great game every game. There's gonna be some games he has 4 or 5 points, bro. Like, come on, bro. He averages 12 points a game throughout his career. He's not a prolific scorer. Like,
I get lost in Laker Twitter too. I don't get in the mix, but I'm just like, what are we doing, guys?
Like nobody's gonna want to come here. What are we like?
And like all those like Laker accounts too, like Lake Show Yo. He's funny as hell, but like he just
is
such
that the
a
frog one.
Yeah, that's the frog one. Yeah. He talks shit, and then when it's a good game, he just like raises them up, and then
he kills it. He's hilarious though. He is hilarious. That's one of the ones that like I actually like watch. Like I keep tabs on because even when he's talking crazy, it's funny.
He said it's always funny when he's like, "Good night to everyone except the LA Lakers." I feel like a tough loss. Like I remember because I was at that Celtics game last Tuesday, and then I went to Twitter right after bed or right before bed, and of course it's like, "Good night to everyone except LeBron James and Anthony Davis." I know AD kind of make those free throws, man, but
you think it's one of those things where they know the gravity of the team that they're playing? It's kind of the double-edged sword of having passionate fans, right? Like they have a bar set for you guys.
Yeah, you know you're gonna like when you first sign, they're gonna show you the most love in the world. You're probably gonna make $5 million like off like that summer you signed, and then boom, you step on the court and they turn on you like that, like so.
It's crazy, man. When I was at the game, you can cut the tension in the air because like first of all, there's a shitload of Boston Celtics fans in that building too for some reason.
Yeah.
So like everyone was talking shit to each other. I was drunk, like I was talking shit to a Celtics fan, and then we came back, and then they went to OT, and it was just like. 80 missed free throws. Like, man, fuck you, man. I'm just gonna go walk away now.
And then again, Twitter was nowhere to be found, like to actually give Russ a little bit of love for being the only person who showed up in overtime.
Yeah.
Like, he's the only one that played decent in overtime, and nobody gave him any love about it.
He gets lost in the sauce when he does well, and then when he's bad, then it's the topic of discussion. It's pretty interesting.
We blame Russ for everything, man.
Yeah. I do see now, like, I don't know if they're like people that are sort of like you, where they try to raise, the spirits of some of these players, but I do see. Well, first of all, there's trends. Like now, I see on YouTube, there's low lights, right? Like it's fucking weird.
Man,
what the fuck is that?
I seen that when Lonzo first got with the Lakers. He had low lights like every game. Like it was like it would be more low lights like videos for him than highlight videos. It was crazy. I was like, damn, he's a kid. I was like,
I know, right?
This is a child, bro.
Like, for real. Speaking about Lonzo, just real quick, some Celtics fan said, "Yeah, you could have drafted Tatum, but you guys got Lonzo." I was like, "Fuck."
I know.
It's still to this day.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that though.
Yeah.
Like Lonzo, I think, of course, it's a big what if, but if he continues and gets the jump shot that he has and he stays with the Lakers, Lonzo's averaging 20 and 9.
Oh yeah, he was super talented and
20,
skilled.
29 and probably like 7 rebounds because the keys would still be in his hand. Like, think about how good he's playing with the Bulls and he's like the 4th or 5th option.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm
that's
sad that
like,
I'm sad that he got injured this year. I was really looking for, but Jermaine's a huge Bulls fan, so he's really sad about it.
I was actually happy to have him. I was like, dude, I feel like his jump shot's gonna be nicer. And as soon as he started playing, I was like, I knew it. He's gonna be. And then I watched him play against the Lakers last season before he got injured, and just seeing that jump shot, I was like, dude, he fucking fixed his jump shot because he had the ugliest shot, and even LeBron was making fun of that shit, you know. And I remember those videos of him like mocking his shot, but, you know. But it sucks that he's still injured and probably gonna miss this rest of. He's not coming back this season.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like what it is like with his body, man. Like it seems like every injury he gets is a season-ending injury. Like he doesn't just get minor ones.
Yeah, it's always pretty major, right?
It's like the Brandon Roy effect, right? Like Brandon Roy.
Yeah. Well, Brandon Roy is just dumb.
That
he was just dumb. He tried to come back too fast.
That's true. Yeah.
Like that was his downfall. Like he loved it too much.
I think that guy, he had potential to break the game, man. He was,
for sure.
He was doing some crazy stuff. But yeah, like I was saying, I would see Russell Westbrook videos, and like first of all, I would see lowlights, and there was a bunch of them with Russell Westbrook. But then I would see these videos of, look, Russell Westbrook did a lot in the overtime, but everybody's talking shit, like videos to kind of make him feel better.
Yeah.
That's his burner account.
like Katie and shit.
Yeah. Man. I'm still upset that they have him on the bench. Like this changed the offense, man. Like I don't like to me it's like the easiest thing to do. Like first of all, LeBron don't even want to work that hard no more to where he has the ball that much, like in his hands, creating everything. Let Russ carry that to where he gets the offense involved. There was one game that I was pissed because Russ what game was it? It was that game when it was towards the beginning of the year, man. Oh, everybody got mad at Russ for taking like that pull up mid range.
Oh yeah.
But LeBron had just took the stupidest 3-pointer the previous play.
It was.
And I'm like, bro, like his was actually wide open. Like LeBron just took 3 jump shots in a row. like and missed, and we're on Russ about the one that he took that was wide open.
I think it was It was one of those game controlling things. I don't know, but I mean, LeBron be on some crazy shit sometimes, and we don't even talk about it.
It was against Portland. That's what it was.
Yeah,
he had Dame on him. LeBron had Dame on him for game, and he decides to do a fadeaway from the 3-point line. A turnaround fadeaway from the 3-point line.
He didn't need to do that.
Like you could have got to the basket. Oh my god!
Yeah, draw a foul. They're gonna give you the foul. You're LeBron.
And the crazy thing is, like, if you go back and look at it, he like the right side was wide open for him to take that to the basket. Like it was little help there, and he takes a fadeaway jump shot over. Like, oh man,
just he didn't even need a fadeaway over Dame Lillard. He could have just done a regular 3.
Raised up.
Let me fade on. No, he didn't need that.
And then AD pissed me off that game too because Russ had the ball, and I think whoever what's the Blazers big man Nurkic.
Yeah, Nurkic. Yep.
Yeah, he was guarding Russ. And and AD screaming for the ball at the 3-point line. Like, bro, like not only are the fans like on like turning on him, why the heck is AD? And at this point, AD is shooting like crap from the 3-point line at that.
Yeah, AD's shooting this year has been bad.
Screaming for it. Oh, clapping. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's got the mismatch. I was like, if you wanted the ball with the mismatch, you should have went to the block. You
Yeah,
calling for it at
yeah,
the 3-point
yeah.
line. And sure enough, Russ gave it to him.
Yeah.
80 clanked it. Like,
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know
man.
where I heard this, but there is a certain atmosphere when it comes to the Laker games because, like you said, like you're getting paid that much. Courtside seats, there's the fucking Kardashians, you know. There's Jack
yeah,
Nicholson,
it's definitely different in there.
and I feel like there's more pressure when you're someone like Russell Westbrook, where you're coming back home, right?
Yeah, he's from
And
there.
the fans
And
are
he's
like, "Oh, we
always
got to
destroyed us.
right."
Like, he's
So
always had great games against us.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think the last time Kobe was in the playoffs, didn't he get rid of him?
Yep. Okay, so you got rid of him. Yep.
It's pain there, like with Russ. Like,
Yeah, I like back to your point of like he used to like I remember OKC Russ, like he would just dribble so fast and then just stop on a dime at the like even below the free throw line and just pull up for a mid range, and it was like 9 out of 10 or 9.9 out of 10 every time, and then now for some reason it's just not going in.
it's not even that it's not going in; it's like way off.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing I will say. Like, I kind of am skeptical about him shooting that now because it's you can tell it's just so much in his head.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
AD with the free throws, like it's in his head.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the whole Laker team can benefit with a psychological coach. I feel like that's the
Like a
missing
Phil-
component right
like
now
a
with
Phil
all of them.
Jackson. You
I
need
think that
the
should be
master back,
required when you
man.
sign
Yeah, how
there.
wild would it be if he came back for like one more season?
Man,
one of the last topics that we have over here, and it's one of the things I wanted to talk about for a while is fashion and like basketball shoes, right? And I feel like there's no other shoes that have crossed like the threshold of fashion. Like nobody's wearing fucking soccer shoes. Or, you know what I mean? Like running, well, some running shoes, but not as prevalent as like basketball shoes being worn like as a fashion statement or like, you know what I mean? As far as basketball shoes go, do you guys have a favorite? As far as performance goes and look wise, you guys a fan of the low cuts? What do you guys think?
I like the
yeah,
hyper
I just recently started playing in the Greek Freak 2.0s.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
That's my favorite shoe to play in right now.
Are they are those ones like mid or low?
They're low.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they're this is the first time I played in low. Well, no, this is my second time playing in low tops. I've always been a high top guy. But like for me, like it's weird, man. I could play in any shoe really. But like there's certain shoes that feel way better. Like so for instance, like Kyrie's, I'm glad they're not making Kyrie's anymore because to me they suck as a basketball shoe. Like they're super tight on your foot. Like I hate. They look amazing. Easily has the best looking shoe every year. But just like the silhouette of them are amazing, but performance wise, the size, like the traction, I hate Kyrie's. I think Paul George shoe gets slept on as far as performance though. I think he has consistently put out like a quality performance shoe.
And they look nice.
Yeah.
They look pretty dope too.
There was a point where they said his shoe was like the most worn in the NBA.
That's like around the time the PS2s were out, right? Or the
like the PG2s or the
PG2s
3s,
or whatever.
One of them were. I think that shoe was like the most worn, and that's when that was my first ever low top that I played in was that. So those are super comfortable. KDs are great, except for I think what's the ones that are like kind of low recently, the 11s.
KD, I think his newest one are low top, aren't they? Or am I tripping?
Damn,
KD's super narrow though.
KD's out in his 11th shoe. Jesus.
I think he's on his 15th shoe actually.
His what?
Is it his 15th shoe or am I tripping?
What's LeBron at right now?
20.
These suck.
Okay. Those are the ones they suck.
They suck. Don't get this shoe. There's no support like in the ankle at all. Like it doesn't matter how tight you do, it's gonna loosen right back up.
Yeah.
Like you can see it. The last time I wore these, I just took them off. These have been in the garage. There's probably spiders in here. Like
Jeez.
They look nice though.
They look like
that's
skate
why I
shoes.
got him.
Yeah, yeah.
He's always had a good quality shoe. So I was like,
Mm.
dang, these are fire. Let me get them.
Mhm.
Worst mistake of mine.
I mean, I love Kobe's, especially the Kobe 4s, but you know, unfortunately, they're not cheap, or it's like $750. I'm not gonna buy $750 shoes and then at least aftermarket price and then hoop in them. It doesn't make sense. So, but Kobe's were my favorite to hoop in, especially the 4s and the 8s.
Yeah.
I never got a chance to hoop in any of the low top Kobe's because I had ankle problems, and
Yeah.
you know they tell you that low tops aren't good for your ankles, and come to find out that was a lie. And so
Yeah.
I was really upset about that because I do like this Nike product testing thing, and so basically they'll have us wear like shoes that are about to come out in like a year, or
Oh, nice.
like
That's dope.
even recently they like one that's like 8 years out. And what they'll do is they'll raffle shoes off at the end. Like, so however many games you win, they give you a raffle ticket. And I used to win Kobe's all the time, and then I used to turn around and just sell them because I was scared to play in them.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
now they don't even bring Kobe's to the damn thing.
Yeah.
So,
Damn.
yeah,
There's no more power testing for Kobe's. They know what they got already.
Yeah.
so, yeah, that's one of my biggest regrets is not playing in Kobe's. I had the first Kobe's
Okay.
with Nikes. With
But those
Nike, I had
are high
those.
tops too, right?
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I had them.
Mm.
Once he started good going low top, I think the last shoe I had from Kobe was the waffles.
Okay.
Those are
Oh,
good
I
ones.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, it was a wrap for me. And I wanted them too with the ankle insurance commercials and all
Yep.
that. Man.
Yep.
Right.
That's
Just sold
what got
it.
me, bro.
Oh man, I wanted those bad.
For me, I like the Kobe 4s a lot. And like you guys are saying, I was like, low tops. Why is he going on low tops? Then he was talking about how he was watching soccer players play with they don't play with high tops.
Mhm.
And he was
Yeah.
saying he wanted to get more like mobility, and he felt like let's go low tops. And yeah,
Interesting.
those were the most comfortable basketball shoes I've ever put on, and the grip was amazing. It was just everything about it I love about them. And I have still like brand new just sitting in my closet, just how much I like that shoe. But
Nice.
another shoe that I like are the Hyper Dunks. When Hyper Dunks came out, I remember Kobe had he was wearing the McFlys,
Oh,
and
yeah.
those are dope.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I was rocking with the Hyper Dunks because I love how cool they were. And then I moved to the Kobe 4s.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
fucked up my knee wearing Derrick Rose's shoes.
You didn't read the back of it? It says it's gonna happen, bro.
It was fucked up because it was my
I
left
had-
knee, just like him.
I had the D Rose 2 and the D Rose 3. I had like 4 colorways of those because again that was my guy. So my
Yeah.
freshman year,
Same,
that's
yeah.
what I played in D Rose's my freshman year.
Uh,
So those I want to get more, but they don't. Yeah, those are hard to come by.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like seeing the prices on them now. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, I
There
still
I
we
need
have them.
Nike to bring back Harachis though, like the real Harachi
Dude.
basketball
Oh,
shoes.
shit.
The
I don't know.
2K4? Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
it
don't know
has to have
what's
the
going
same
on.
quality though, because Nike's
Exactly.
cutting corners now, man.
Like,
I don't
but I
know.
don't think they understand like the community of basketball.
Mhm.
You know how much money they would make if they bring back the what?
Bruh. Yeah.
Oh man,
Even before.
I see guys today like still like trying to wear them. This summer at the 101 basketball camp,
Mhm.
a kid was wearing his dad's old basketball shoes, and he had some 2K4s. Busted
Damn.
out of them within 10 minutes.
Damn.
Like literally came apart.
Your
Man,
heart
it was-
broke. Damn.
I was just looking. I was like, "Hey, man, I'm just happy to see that you tried to play in them."
Yeah, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope.
And then he came back with some LeBron ones the next day. Like his dad had all these old
Oh, that's
shoes,
what's up.
and he busted through those too in like 20 minutes.
Hey, the next one, he's like, "Yeah, try these Starburys. I heard they were badass
Nah,
back then."
I gave him some shoes because I had a bunch of like shoes in my trunk because I was collecting shoes to take to Belize for like
Okay.
because the kids out there most of them like a good 90% of them play basketball barefoot.
Oh
So
wow.
I was
Holy
trying to
shit.
just collecting as many shoes as I can, and then I saw him kept busting through his shoes, so I gave him one of the shoes that was in the trunk.
Uh,
So he was solid for the rest of the week.
There you
That's
go.
what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, my favorite shoes, and I had a lot of ankle injuries, so I was kind of skeptical too. But I felt like if Kobe Bryant put his name on it, I was sold. So I was the Kobe 4s and the Kobe 5s, I think, go down
Yeah.
as the greatest basketball shoe for me personally. But if I had to choose, I'm rocking with the Crocs, bro. It's how I
Look, man,
do.
that's the only shoe I've ever seen you in.
Bro,
I'm,
I
I'm
see.
looking for a sponsorship, man, but I can't get it.
Oh man, Crocs took off, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
It's crazy, and I like how
they
they call it when you put the
skyrocketed.
flap down sport mode.
Yeah.
Sport mode, yeah. Put
Jarrell
these in sport mode real quick.
don't even play in sport mode. He plays in relax mode still.
Yeah.
Comfort mode.
You gotta catch him off guard. You used to turbo. It's like 2K.
Oh
Funny,
man.
man. Well, man, thank you for coming onto the podcast,
Oh, no
Vito.
problem, man. I had a great time.
Yeah,
Appreciate it,
thanks,
Vic.
man. It was
Yeah,
great
thank you
to
so
hear
much,
like your
man.
insight in this, and I hope there's people who tune in and they can get inspired off you because that's what it's all about. That's what we're trying to do here, inspire
Yeah,
our listeners, man.
that's the goal, man. I just want to inspire and help people kind of get to, their dream faster than I got to mine. So
That's what it's about,
that's the
man.
goal. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I also want to give you this opportunity to go ahead and plug in your socials if there's anything you want them to look out for you. So go ahead.
You can find me literally on anything at Vito Evans. That's my handle for Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I don't really be on Snapchat, but when I am, if you want to find me anywhere, it's Vito Evans. My content is literally like basketball and my family. So if you're interested in
Wholesome
basketball, you want to
content.
see a cute kid, beautiful
Yeah.
wife, go ahead and go to my Instagram.
That's
Hell
a
yeah.
flex, though. That's a flex, having a family,
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I said, thank you again for coming on. This is The Cave. I'm Jermaine. You had Francis, you had Jarrell, and our special guest, Vito Evans, Victor
Appreciate
Evans.
y'all for
It was
having me,
great having
man.
you. Just want to say good luck in Belize, man. We're gonna
Thank
be
you.
pulling for you. So hope you
Good
do
luck,
great
bro.
things out
Thank
there,
you.
man. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Well, you have a good night.
All right, you guys as well.
Later, boys.
Peace.
Peace.